What's going on, TheCoreofU family, community of restoration and enlightenment? I'm Kenneth Page, and here with wifey
Bianca Page.
Bianca Page, published author. Bianca Page over here to my right, your left, as you're looking at the screen. And we got Tasha Champion on. Visionary author. These beautiful young ladies. Wow. Just got a book is out. Phenomenal women. A group of 22 women, right?
And 23 with the visionary author.
Oh, we're top 23. Oh, so we can't forget so 23 women wrote a book giving you their stories of how they were able to overcome.
And there'll definitely be we'll be doing a lot of things to promote the book. And I'm just thankful. That's why it's so important to have a good village. I'm thankful for my cousin for pushing me into my gifts and something that I wanted to do in the non-academic setting. And I said, if I leave this earthly plane tomorrow, on my live list, I was able to check that one off. So
my baby and I have been together for going on 12 years, and she's been talking about writing that book ever since. Ever since.
Well, there you go. Sometimes you can say, that my other cousin, Robin Wilson, she's a published author of children's books and other books, I'm sure. But I love the fact that she's empowering our youth and such a literacy advocate is so important. You'd be surprised how literacy is still a very huge issue even in our Black community. So shout out to two authors on with us.
So I love it.
Circle with these ladies.
So shout out to these
they're published and
to these Black and brown women that are doing these amazing things, and it just makes me think of Black History Month and a time where they wouldn't even allow us to read and to write, and you guys are writing your own books. That's amazing. All right, Hey, there it is. Love you guys. And there's going to be more to come. Be looking out for that from you. I'm sure you'll hear from Tasha and B and Auntie Pam and all of the beautiful ladies that did this book. But today's Friday conversation, TheCoreofU conversation is we're in a good place, but it's a sombering conversation, I guess. Because we want to talk to you today about how to interact with your significant others or friends or family or people in your life. We want to just have a discussion about when loved ones are sick. When loved ones are sick. And reason why we want to have this conversation, because we love to be transparent. And right now, my wife's has two grandparents that are sick. And she is extremely close to both of her grandparents, extremely close. The fact that she even has two grandparents that are still living is just, first of all, that's amazing and a miracle in itself. I have only one left, grandmother that's still living. But she has two, and they are in their 80s, and they are as vibrant and just animated and connected to youth, and as they come, very intelligent, both of them very well spoken, both have done so many things in their lives, so they always have a story to tell, right? So but right now the family is dealing with them kind of being not as vibrant, and it's kind of it
shook us a little bit.
It shook the entire family.
There are pillars.
Yeah, to see them not being at that level that we're used to seeing them at. So, babe, let's have a moment of transparency. How do you feel? What are you dealing with right now? Go ahead.
What's interesting is there is like a vibration right now. I feel if any of you guys are kind of spiritually connected in, there are a lot of prayer requests coming in. I'm getting at least one a day, but if I take my whole prayer list in totality.
Yeah. So just to let you know what she's talking about, we are definitely a part of a praying community. You are welcome to be a part of our praying community. You can let us know at any time at TheCoreofU on IG, Facebook, on Instagram, YouTube, or email us from our website if you would like to need us to pray for you or someone in your family. We are praying people, so we're always dealing with prayer, but we have definitely been receiving a lot of prayer requests from our community.
Right. So I wanted to start there because if you understand and you're connected, I think we're in a certain season right now, where there's, just like a purging and a healing that's happening. And in that process, I do understand that spiritually, but when you physically are seeing loved ones in pain or not themselves, it is hurtful and it's draining. And you're trying to balance, and I know other people have been there, where you try to balance what you see with faith, but not try to be to a point where you're not dealing with reality. So the reality is there are people getting older in my life, and at some point, they will make their transition. However, faith says keep going until you can't go no more, but you don't want to be so blind that you don't see if somebody is declining. That's what I'm saying. So there are those, as the fleshly part of me kind of swings in that pendulum of emotion, where I can see clearly, oh my God, my time is not as, unnumbered as I was when I was little. You didn't think about those things.
No doubt. So that's what we're talking about today, CoreofU fam. Interacting with your significant other or friends, family, whoever it may be, when they're dealing with a loved one that is either ill, and I've been on both sides of it. So I've dealt with loved ones that were ill, then they recovered. I've dealt with loved ones, unfortunately, that transitioned on, and that was tough in itself. I've also had, so right now my babe is dealing with her blood relatives there are two right now that are ill and that are going through their ebbs and flows of life and just dealing with illness, and it's been interesting, and I'm gonna say why. I need to say this. The reason why it's been really interesting for me is because she internalizes a lot. So because I know that about her, and because I know that she internalizes a lot, so she's definitely internalizing, their sickness and their illness and their struggles and the things that they're going through. And so I've been just trying to do my best not to get in the way, not to make things worse, but to just be as the title is, be a helpmeet. That's what we're supposed to be a helpmeet with the children. I can't do too much with her job, unfortunately, because trust me, I would take that off of her table if I could. Not now. One day I will just retire her, but.
Right. And so my goal is to try not to be over consumed with it and to still stay present with my family while being authentic in my emotions. So sometimes you need to cry. Sometimes you need to step outside. Sometimes you need to pray it out, talk it out, walk it out. But it is real, and it is something that we're experiencing right now. No doubt. And it does, and I have to know that a lot of people are on the other side of it where they've lost the person they're praying with. So I'm just trying to process the reality and take each day as a gift.
And how is that going for you, the process? How is it going?
The process, it's been interesting because as you navigate family, you also have to understand that there's caretakers closer to her than I am, and we're all dealing with our different emotions and giving people the space to do how they need to do to get through. And for me, I think I've been doing pretty good, but I've also been distracted too. And what I found is that when I'm really close to a situation, sometimes it's easier to prayer swap. Like I can pray for someone else's family and they can pray for mine. Does that make sense? Where it's like, it's easier for me to pray for my other friend's grandma or my other friend's mother And I asked her to pray for mine because I'm just so close that I'm emotional about it.
Yeah, you're emotionally tied to it. And because I'm emotionally tied to you, it's a little more difficult. But listen, it's definitely not impossible. So where I've been trying to step up as the husband and as the father, and listen, I love grandma and grandpa too, you know. So it's been hurtful for me to see them, and I'm a positive, really, really light. So I just want to just always just like see the good, see the right, see the positive. And so it's sad to see them in the state that they're in. But what I will say is, talking to them, man, you know, their conversation at times is so encouraging, because you're like, well, they're dealing with these illnesses, but they're still like, hey, stay encouraged. I still believe in God. I'm still praying. And you can call them and talk to them. They're like, how are you doing? And you're like, no, I called to check on you. So those things are really amazing. But just trying to step up more than I do. And I'm a really hands-on person as being a husband and a father. But I'm just trying to step up even more during this time, because I know that wifey is dealing with what she's dealing with. But it's difficult. It's difficult to see her, and it's difficult to know and to feel her emotions, and to know that she isn't 100% herself, because part of who she is hurting, and they're sick right now.
So, as switching hats, is there anything you would advise someone in my seat to do that I'm not doing?
I would just always tell people, because I've lost more than most, right, in my life. So I've dealt with it, and it was the single worst thing I ever had to deal with, losing my parents all at once with my grandmother. So just be authentic to you. Sometimes people try to tell you how to heal, how to get over, how to go through, how to deal. Just be authentic to you. As long as only thing I would warn about that statement is, as long as what's authentic to you is not hurtful to you. You know what I'm saying? And so for you, I know you've been dealing with other things with work and doing things that you've been doing, and sometimes I feel like, yeah, you have been distracted. But when you have those moments when you are dealing with it, I just kind of step back or stand by and allow you to be you. So you really haven't had it yet, but I know there's going to be a moment where you're going to probably break down in some tears. You had a couple.
Well,
but not really yet.
What I will say is, it's so important as praying people. There's a lot of healers on the line. There's a lot of people that are caretakers and holding space for other people. What I realize is that I have to be really conscious about discharging. Like, I'll think that I'm processing it, and then, you know, it'll show up. It'll show up in my body. It'll show up in my lack of sleep, or in my mindset. And so I'm like, wow, I'm not discharging. So that's where I've been trying to focus on. How can I discharge like, I've been trying to turn panic into praise. So when I get that panic feeling, I try to move into praise, you know?
So what I would say to you is this. So knowing what I've been through and where I've gone, I love that. But I would advise to change that. Okay. Change panic into patience.
Oh, all right.
Instead of panicking, because you may be able to praise in the moment of panic, but there are so many people that can't, because they become impatient, because they just want to get to whatever end result or whatever it is, and they want to get through it. Or if it's the hurt, they want to get through the hurt. I don't want this hurt, so just take it away. Go. No, I would just say, take the panic and turn it into patience, and let's see. Let's just see. And be patient with who you are and what you're feeling, and how you're feeling it. And if you need to cry, and I tell people this all the time, if you need to go outside and just scream to the heavens, if that's what makes you feel better and it releases a little stress from you, do that. If you need to, whatever it is that you do, just please allow your outlet, whatever that outlet is, to be healthy. That's all. Just please allow it to be healthy. And so, but no, if panic and the praise is how you handle it and it's healthy, then I'll be right here praising with you. But I mean,
and I like what Coach Tasha put. She said you also have to allow your loved ones to support you through it, that's a key word. Allow your Allow your loved ones to support you through it, because so many people get shut off. They just turn off the valve,
what's up, JJ? They just turn off the valve and they like, nope, I'm dealing with it. I'm going through it. And they shut off all of their support.
They isolate.
They isolate.
You can even be in a room with somebody and still self-isolate.
You can be in a room with a group of people and still be isolated.
Yeah.
If you don't, you know.
Unplug and turn off. Yeah.
Yeah. Tasha said, yeah, I have to go sit in. Oh yeah, that's my heaven on earth right there. Go to sit in front of water. When I really get to a place, I'd be like, all right, let me go find me a big body of water. That's amazing. And so that's a healthy, you're not hurting anybody. Trust me, all the negative vibes that you throw into that water, it can handle it. It's not going to bother, it can purify. It's not going to bother the fish, the sharks, the dolphins, people. It's not going to change the pH balance of the water. None of that. Water is made for that. So that's great to be able to do it. Babe, for you, what is your healing mechanism, or what do you do to heal?
Well, first off, I to release immediately, I write my prayers down because I feel like I'm holding it if I don't get it out, you know. So for me, and it can be a quick list, like, you know, healing prayer for this person, comfort and grief for that person, or just their name.
Have you been writing during this?
Yeah, I have. And I don't necessarily do it every day because right now it's a few of the same people. So I don't need to write it more than once. Okay. But I need to that's like my process for handing it over to God, writing it out. And then when I don't have the presence of mind to do that, then, you know, it's just as soon as I get a text up, I'll be like, you know, I'm handing over to you, Lord. Like, you already know. And so that's a way. Definitely when I can, I also try to get near some water. I just haven't been able to get near the beach lately. And so for me, sounds I have we need to get there. I've been doing my little meditations guided because usually that helps. Like, I'll look for one that's on a topic. And when I can't get a connection, I have a prayer book by Iyanla Vanzant, and that helps me. Because sometimes I feel like I don't have the words to pray the prayer I need. So
wow, do you see that? Cousin Robin said, I am the same way. I carry emotions in my body. So does Bianca, especially in my core. So does Bianca, definitely in her core. She says, my stomach will become upset. Her back. So yours goes to the front, hers goes to the back. That's interesting. If I am carrying negative emotions, I can think that I'm managing my stress or emotions, but my body tells on me. Definitely, she says and so she journals as well, which is amazing. You guys are some writers, you know, probably just in your spiritual gifts as it is. So it's amazing for you to get it on. If you can get pen to paper, as they say, it's therapeutic, I'm sure. Like for me, I will go in the studio, and obviously that costs money. So when I couldn't get into the studio, then what I would do is either I used to get to the water, or if I couldn't get to the water, I would play ball or get to the gym, play basketball or get to the gym. So if I could work out, once I got into that was my, I also would watch movies. I used to call that the sanctuary.
Yeah, you would.
You'd be like, where you going? I'm like, I'm going to the sanctuary. And they'd be like, you going to church? It's on Tuesday at 12. And I'd be like, yeah, whatever. I'm going to the sanctuary. I would just go to catch a movie. So whatever it is that's healthy, you need, and so if you're just joining us, that's what we're talking about today for our CoreofU Friday conversation, is interacting with your loved ones, your significant others, your, family, friends, whoever it is in your life that you're close to, interacting with them when they are dealing with sickness or illness, or God forbid, even death of a loved one. How do you deal? How do you interact? And, what's your role? And
right. And I would say my last two things in 2020 to now 2021, I've taken more baths than I've ever taken.
You Calgon?
I've been Calgoning things away. And sleep. Sometimes I just need sleep. Like rest. My mind, rest. And sometimes when your mind is going too fast, you can't get to sleep. But the bath will help relax me. Something to just, okay, let me get out of my mind. So I've been trying to discharge, and that's really where my focus is, and trying not to make sure I don't take it out on you guys, my loved ones. But I'm noticing my season, and I'm willing to ask for some support, because I'm definitely
And what I will commend you is that you've handled this actually really well. I wasn't certain. I kind of sit back and was like, oh, what's going to happen here? But you've handled it really well. And I think that you have come to some terms and reality and just like, okay, accepting what accepting it just like it looks like. And sometimes that's what it is. Sometimes that's what beats us up and hurts us more than anything is that our inability. No, I won't say our inability, our unwillingness. Because we have the ability to do so much, but our unwillingness to accept the reality of the situation. And so we get into things and we're just like, nope, I don't want to see this. I don't want to know that. And people can say, yeah, but this person is really sick. It's, if they don't take care of themselves, there's a possibility that they could leave here. And you're just like, nope, I don't accept it. I'm not going to deal with it. I'm not going to come to terms with that. I don't like it. I don't like to hear it. And so their unwillingness to really accept reality. And if there's something in you that's saying there's more to the situation and maybe you need to investigate, you need to check and make sure that, there was no foul play or nothing crazy going on. As long as that's not happening, sometimes your greatest place of healing is just accepting. When I lost my parents, I knew that they were amazing people. I knew that they had done great in life. I knew that they had done great for others. They had done so much for so many other people other than us, and they were amazing. They were like, on a whole nother level for us as children watching our parents. But one of the biggest things was I was just like, well, they did good while they were here, and now they are no longer here. And that was kind of my thing. I had to it was my way to get to my place to just heal. At least cope with it. Let me say that.
Okay.
At least cope with it. Obviously,
like accepting that their job was done. Like
yeah, I just was like, listen, they were good. They were great people. They were, and I could have went back and forth. Yeah, but why did they have to die? They were so great. I didn't get into all of that. I just was like, they were great people. They lived the life. They lived it the way they wanted to live it, which they did. They did things the way they wanted to do it, And so I was like, okay, I just have to accept it as it is. It still hurt. It still hurts sometimes. It's real. But I don't live from that place of hurt or pain. I when it comes through, I let it come through. I deal with it in that moment and then I move on.
Yeah.
And so those are the biggest things. And so listen, we don't have all of the answers. I just understand that life and death, as much as we talk about and we celebrate the life part so much, and we talk about the life part so much. We have these ceremonies and all this stuff for when a person has a child and all of this and life and coming in. We don't deal with the death part as much as we probably should, but life and death is a part of life. Sickness is a part of life. But we hope and we pray from the TheCoreofU family that you have found, if you're dealing with that or someone in your family or loved ones or circle is dealing with that you have found a healthy way to at least cope with the sadness of it and the reality of it. And we hope that you're being healthy with the way you're coping with it and that, you just find a place to just make it through. And so also, sometimes when we are trying to hold on to someone that is in pain, man, you know what, Robin, man, I have had some really in-depth, let me just tell you, one time I really had to have, like, as they say, a come to Jesus moment with a family that was dealing with a loved one that was sick. And that person ended up getting to the place where they were dying slowly but surely. And the family was just not accepting it. So they were keeping the person on, life support and drugging them up and doing all this. And the person actually was saying, y'all, please just let me die. That's what the person was saying. I wasn't saying it. The person was saying, please just let me die. And I'm just like, are we hearing what this person is saying? And so we had to have that conversation. And the family asked me, you know, what do you think? What are your thoughts? And I said, y'all really ain't ready for this conversation. And they were like, no, we really want to know, what should we do? I said, y'all need to listen to the person that's on the hospital bed. The person on the hospital bed is saying, let me go. I've done what I wanted to do. I've lived my life. I even left y'all in a place where y'all financially, you know, at least set. Y'all, you know, you're not billionaires, but y'all good. Let me go. Let me die. And I'm like, y'all need to listen to the person in the hospital, on the hospital bed.
Well, and sometimes it's on a spiritual way where they'll stay around until they know you're okay.
And I feel like
if your mouth say it, but your spirit ain't, they'll know.
And I feel like that's what that person was doing, and they were staying around. They were staying around because the family wasn't ready to let them go. And finally, when we had that conversation, and listen, I'm not saying it was because of me and the conversation that we had. They still had to deal with a few things. But when they went back and processed it and talked to the person again, and that person asked them, and do you know, everybody had a moment that night or whatever, right? And talked. And you know, it was hurtful, but they kind of accepted it. And then the morning after, that person went transitioned on.
Yeah.
Transitioned on. I think that person felt like, okay, they're good, we're good. At least they heard me, and they've accepted what I said. They may not accept the consequences behind or the result.
Right.
They accept what I said, and so.
Well, we gave you a lot to think about, and I'll just keep you guys posted. I am in the middle of my process, but I'm going through, and it's always good to have a community. Listen, there's a study and a professor out of Stanford that teaches a class on people who are more satisfied or happier in life are those who have a community, or those who go to church. And it's not because of the spiritual belief, it's because of the connectivity of other people. Wow. It's not the belief system in and of itself, it's just the connectedness. So if you don't have a community, I hope you feel like you're part of ours. But to the extent you need, thank you for the prayers, cousin. To the extent you need somebody to just stand with you spiritually, make sure you have a good few men that, you know, as they say, that's a non-sex description. Good few men, good few women that can just stand with you spiritually.
In the military,
have your back.
I served in the Army, and we had in basic training what was called a battle buddy. So we need some good
spiritual battle buddies.
Good battle buddies. Some good,
that's right. I like that.
Some solid battle buddies. As cousin said, Robin said, I'm gonna pray for you.
Cousin.
You need those battle buddies that are willing to pray for you and to stand with you and to just rub your back if you're crying or hurting in that moment, whatever it is. You just need those. You just need those people in your life. Send you a text,
send you a quote, something.
Yeah, whatever.
So
it is.
y'all stay lifted. Like I said, there is a vibe. There's a lot of people in need spiritually. So you might be caretaking and holding up people spiritually, or you might be right there in the trenches with them, helping to take care of somebody, or you may not be in that season. And if you're not, great. Maybe you could be a battle buddy for somebody else. But if you are, understand that this is that season, and there will be another season. We just gotta get through it. But discharge, spiritually discharge. For my strong warriors out there, don't hold it. I've done it. I'm guilty of it. And sometimes it's subconscious. I'll think I'm doing all right, and then I'll wake up and my back is out, and I'll be like, "Oh, all right, I'm not." So. And
I would just say to you all, you know, life is not promised to any of us, right? Life is short. You could be, you know, I'm sure you've heard this, you know, millions of times. You could be here today and gone tomorrow. So take tonight to hug on your loved ones, kiss them, tell you love them, forgive. Let stuff go, man. Forgive. Forgiveness may be one of the greatest healing components in life that God has allowed us to be able to operate under. Just forgive and let it go. Because you just never ever know. So just forgive, let it go, move on. Say you're sorry. If they haven't said they're sorry, move on. Let it go. Exactly, JJ. The next level of living, because there are so many people that are in a mental or psychological or spiritual prison because they have failed to forgive.
Yeah.
It's so important that you forgive, let it go, move on. So we hope that everything is good with you. We hope that you have peace in your heart and in your homes. Follow us at TheCoreofU, CORE of the letter U, Community of Restoration Enlightenment. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook,
or our website.
If
any of you guys are interested in the book, please go to the website and just fill out the form,
What's the
interest
website?
form. TheCoreofU, www.TheCoreofU.com.
And then going back to it, what about your book?
That's what I'm saying. On our website, you can sign up for the pre-sale form, or you can go to shenominalwomen.com and you can see all the different pages of the
shenominalwomen.com. I'm gonna say it again. Shenominal, not phenomenal. shenominalwomen.com.
So
get the book.
Yeah, so we're in pre-release stage right now.
Pre-release, pre-order it.
But we're gonna have it at the end of March, which is Women's International Month. So we're going from Black History into Women History.
Woo-hoo!
So all my powerful
love you too, cousin.
Ladies and men who support your ladies, we love you. So let's have a good evening, be productive, and be loving, and be in peace.
And always, we like to leave you with peace in your heart.
Shenominal.com.
Yep, shenominal.com. Peace in your heart and in your home. And we hope that everything is all right with you as you go into this beautiful last weekend of Black History Month.
That's right. We know Black history is American history, and it's our history, and it's all our history.
And it should never just be till February. It's our history all the time. Love y'all. Peace.